Hey guys, what is up? Gelmig here, and today we're taking a look at the Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse Blue Beetle, both the battle mode and the regular version. Now they're both the same body, so we're taking a look at it in one review. It's just a matter of accessories, so let's get it out of the stand and see how he is. So like I said in the intro, these are the exact same figures body-wise. It's just a matter of the accessories, so let's take a look at those first before we get into it. First of all, they both come with a separate DC Multiverse card, and you can see that this is the regular version and this is the battle mode version. You can't really see, it has no indication on the card itself, but it is the exact same bio data on each. If you want to read it, go for it. Of course, they both come with a DC Multiverse base, which, you know, seen that a million times before. And now to the figure itself. Like I said, same figure we have. This is the first time we've gotten Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes in action figure form for the DC Multiverse Mcfarlane line anyway. We had the Ted Cord Blue Beetle before, sold under the 2-pack with Booster Gold. It didn't see a regular release where I'm from, so I'm not going to be doing a side-by-side comparison because I don't have that figure. Which I'm not bummed about because this is my Blue Beetle. I like Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. I like his design. I like his whole concept with the bug on his back. And now Mcfarlane has given us 2 releases of the character. They're not 2 different versions. They're 2 releases of the same character. Which is that something that you need? Let's talk about in this video. So you can think of this as getting a deluxe figure with 2 bodies. So let's take a look at the accessories so that you know what I'm talking about. So these are all the accessories that come with the 2 figures. These are the ones that are not on the box itself. Of course, it comes with 2 more hands, and I guess we can pop those hands off to illustrate anyway what everything that comes along, all the differences between the 2 figures. Alright, so on the left side here, on the left side you have everything that comes with the regular release, the regular version. Which is ironic for me because all the weapons are in the regular version, not the battle mode. This is the battle mode side. You have all the hands and the wings. So there you go. That's what you get. Let's take a look at them. So pushing all of this aside so we can take a look at the accessories one by one. With the battle mode you have this arm cannon thing, which actually amazes me, and we'll talk about it more in when it comes to the action figure itself. But this seamlessly plugs into the body. He comes with 2 chakrams right there. And before I go on, I want to say that I'm filming this before I watch the Blue Beetle movie, so none of these 100 makes sense to me in the context of the movie. I'm just talking about it in the context of the action figure. So whether he uses this or not, I'm not yet sure. I feel like he will. I haven't even seen the trailer. This is his sword. Well, I have seen parts of the trailer, but you know. Again, this is his sword, and I do have a problem with this. Taking his holding hand, which he does come with. He comes with holding hands for the regular version. His handle is not necessarily ergonomic. You can see that it's flat. So you put it in his hand, right there. And I don't know, it just doesn't sit very well for me. I guess it goes that way. It doesn't sit very well for me. He'll hold it, but it could be better. Minor nitpick, he still holds it well enough, so that's okay. And like I said, he comes with a pair of gripping hands, which the battle mode doesn't come with because he doesn't come with any accessories to hold. Now the battle mode comes with his wings. So these are very nice wings. They're translucent wings, and I don't know if you'll count this as an accessory, but his backpacks are different between the battle mode. Right there, there's the battle mode, and the regular mode. The regular mode, it seems like it's glued on. You can't pry this out. I mean, you probably can if you wanted to, but I don't personally want to pry this out. But you can see snapping it on there. I'll show you the wings here in a bit. You can see there's a gap here for the battle mode for the wings. And again, let's get more into that when we get into the body itself. So the wings clip on very easily, and I guess I'll show you more when you get to the body itself. So it does come separately in the box, so I don't know if you want to count this as an accessory or not, but that's what it is what it is. And then he comes with a variety of style post hands. You have the 2 fist hands that he comes out of the box with. Very nice, very nice. And then you have, for his left hands, you have the thumbs up pose and the peace sign. And then you have, for his right hand, a pointing hand and an open hand. So technically, these are the exact same figures, so you can interchange. Either one you can plug the hands into either one of them. They're the exact same, so you can interchange the, like I said, this Blue Beetle is the regular version. It comes with the gripping hand only. You can have the gripping hand and the peace hand. These are interchangeable, and the best part about this is that because you have all these different hands, he can play rock paper scissors with himself. You know, just a fun little detail. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, putting it all together, you have a ton of accessories. Basically, you have a lot of different hands. You have 2 wings. You have chakrams. So what you're basically getting if you're buying both figures is a deluxe figure in terms of the accessory count. But let's go to the body, because we've talked about the accessories enough. We want to see what the figure actually looks like. Okay, now we have the 2 bodies side by side. I attached the default hands on it, so you can see that this is the non-battle mode, because you can see the backpack is collapsed right there. And again, this is the main difference that you will see. This is glued in, but this is open to accommodate the wings. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the wings here and then set him aside so that you can see what it looks like. So to attach the wings, you have the backpack here. You want to have the mandibles facing forward. So it's basically a matter of clipping them on the pegs right there. So there you have the wings. You have it on the peg perfectly right there. And it's just as simple as line up the shape with Blue Beetle. And there you go. It has a huge shelf presence, and I do enjoy the look. You just can't move it too much. That's all you can really do. And I feel like you can see the wings. I feel like if you cut off this segment a little bit, I mean, don't at your own risk, right? But if you cut off this segment, see what I'm talking about? If you cut off this segment right here, perhaps you can get more movement, more downward movement with the wings, but I don't know if that's something that you'll want to do necessarily. Anyway, you don't see it from the front, so that's up to you. Without it, that's what it looks like without it. So technically, if you want to buy just the battle mode and you wanted to have him without the wings, you can pass it off. It's just you won't have as pretty of a look on the side. So that's one consideration with buying. But we'll bring in the regular version for the rest of the review. This figure is amazing. Just taking a look at the head sculpt. Oh my god, that is Blue Beetle right there. You have all that intricate detail. I will zoom in on that head. That is a wonderful, wonderful head sculpt right there. The blue plastic is that sort of plastic that gets easily marbled, which is okay with me. For Blue Beetle, he has that sort of ethereal, otherworldly vibe. Those pupils in the eyes look amazing. Moving on to his torso, more of the different textures of blue. You have the shiny blue, metallic blue up there, and then the sort of different painted blue down for specs. You have the Blue Beetle sort of outline right there. For this version anyway, you have the backpack collapsed in, very sleek designed. From the back it looks exactly the same, so that's great. You have the scarab basically wrapping himself around the body wonderfully, and then you go into this gray with sort of a spray paint of gunmetal on it, or not spray paint, sorry, a dry brush of gunmetal, so you can really come in to see the details on the arms, on all of the little nooks and crannies. There's so much things going on, and it's so sleek. You have the beetle over there. It does end at this point, but that's okay for me, because even if you move it all the way forward, it doesn't super disconnect with the body. The shoulder pads are a separate rubber piece that's attached to the actual shoulders, so that gives you enough range, so that's really good. The textures on this, everywhere you look there is texture. So what's nice about this is it does give it that elevated movie feel with all the different textures, but still staying true to the Blue Beetle roots. It'll fit in sort of with your comic shelf, because that's basically what Mcfarlane does. You know, even you take a comic figure like Green Lantern, and there is a lot of detail to this as well. It's not just a straight up like spandex suit, so he will fit in with your DC Multiverse line, whether you're collecting comic books or whether you're collecting movie characters. Going down to his legs right here, the only thing I don't really like per se is the diaper piece is a little bit obvious, especially in the straight standing pose. It's not very sleek in that regard, but other than that, it does help with the articulation, I guess. It's a little too high over here, and it's sort of obvious where the difference between the material of the diaper and the actual plastic of the legs and the torso. So that's a bit of a shame, but when you start posing him, it doesn't look as noticeable. Going down his legs, I like what they did here with the back of the knee joint, where they did paint a little bit of blue to match the blue of the boot. That's a really nice touch. Except they didn't paint the inside of the knee, so when you do bend it, it does come out, but you know, it's fine. The ball joint that they use here is the updated joint with not the circle joint. It does stand out a little bit because it's a different sort of plastic. You can see how this has the swirly swirl sort of plastic, and then you have the regular plastic for joints, which again I don't mind because I guess that gives it a little bit of a sturdier joint than usual. The bottom of the feet also has a little bit of detail to it, but not very much. Again, a very nicely detailed Blue Beetle figure, fit in whether you're a comic collector or a movie collector. Now, how does he play with his accessories? I've shown you the sword. He holds it well enough, but it's not the best. It's not the best hold. What I do like is the integration of the cannon, the arm cannon here. So at first, popping off the hand, I was thinking that the hole's a bit big for the hand. It doesn't really fit in, and again, it actually doesn't. Upon closer inspection and closer playing with the figure, I actually had to go online to see Mcfarlane themselves post this, but the arm cannon actually attaches to the arm itself. You can remove this whole arm piece and take the cannon, and it fits right snugly in the arm. Very seamless. I mean, there is a small seam once you put the blue of the cannon on it, but I didn't notice it at first. I was looking at it closely, and it was integrated very well. Look at that. I wouldn't have known that the whole thing was there to begin with. And the battle mode also has the same connection right there, so you can attach it as well to the battle mode. So all the accessories here can be interplayed with each other, whether you want the wings out or the wings back in. That's why I consider this the full experience of the Blue Beetle action figure. You gotta buy both, I think, to get that whole Blue Beetle experience with a hand cannon and all the other weapons and also the wings. So there you go. That's a bit unfortunate, but I think of this as just a deluxe figure with the bonus of being able to display two different Blue Beetles on your comic shelf and your movie shelf. So now we talked enough about the details. Let's talk about how he moves. The neck joint does have a nice double ball joint, as Mcfarlane does. He doesn't look down very much, I just realized now, but he does look up, and he has that side-to-side movement, which is very nice. Again, his shoulder pad is attached to his shoulder, so he does move up. His shoulder joint is a little bit on the weak side. I've seen this tends to push it back down, so he doesn't go up all that much, and that's the same case with both versions as well. But it does rotate, and he does rotate on the shoulder. Double jointed biceps right there. No rotation here, so you really only have the the cannon facing forward. You can't do sort of like that vibe unless you move the entire arm. Bit of a shame, but it's not the biggest deal. All hands have that Mcfarlane double peg and swivel, so they can all rotate, do whatever you want them to do. All of them interchangeable, like I said. He does have a little bit of forward crunch, more than Mcfarlane usually does, and a back crunch. Very, very nice back crunch. He can do a good flight pose right there, especially with the battle version. He does have a nice flight pose with the wings, just in case while it's here. He does move up that much until his mandibles connect with each other, and he does move down that much, so that not very much movement. His legs can move. He can do a high kick basically because of the way that the diaper is. His legs will go anywhere you want. He can even do the splits very, very nicely. Double jointed on the knee. Get that much movement right there. And then his foot has that Mcfarlane joint. Do what you want to do with the toes. Now let's stand side by side the regular version and the battle mode version. You can see just how impressive this wingspan is. It basically is taller than him. Right there. And just to demonstrate the fact that you can interchange all the accessories. Let's give him this, and this is what we'll be using for the size comparisons from here on out. Let's take a look at him next to just your standard 7-inch figure. We've seen him next to Green Lantern John Stewart. And then this, a 6 3/4 inch figure, Marvel Legends Iron Man. So you can see that he stands just about as tall as John Stewart. So he's just under 7 inches tall. He is supposed to be a kid in the comics. It doesn't reflect very well here in the figure, but it's not too over the top. So before we go, final thoughts on the figure. In my mind, you get two of these figures, you're basically paying for a deluxe set. But in the size of a 7-inch scale figure. It's not as big as a Mega Fig, obviously. But what he lacks in size, he makes up for in accessories. Now, the set of hands is amazing. The set of weapons is just enough for Blue Beetle. And the option of having the wings out and the wings retracted. And I guess technically you could argue that he could have been sold with just the backpack retracted, but it's nice to have this clean look so that when he's not flying around, you have that option for that. And he's just a good looking Blue Beetle. I do dig the way he looks. He stands very solidly within both realms, the live action and comic, and I do enjoy that. All the accessories are fun, all the gadgets and gimmicks are fun. The sword is a bit lackluster, but that's one of the aspects of it. This set, I think, is a great addition to your Mcfarlane DC Multiverse collection for especially for Blue Beetle fans. For Blue Beetle fans, this is definitely, especially for Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle fans, this is a must-get for you guys. You're gonna have a ton of fun with this. Now, if I had to get just one, I think I would go with the regular release of the Blue Beetle, only because I think that having the weapons is more fun to play with. The wings are cool, but it does get a little bit cumbersome, and the hands are fun, but really for me it's posing him around with the weapons was the most fun I've had with Blue Beetle so far. If you're a huge Blue Beetle fan, go track down both. As a whole set, I think it's worth it. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you picking this up? Are you excited for the Blue Beetle movie? Do you like the Blue Beetle character in general? Let me know all of those thoughts down in the comment section below. And normally this is where I ask you guys to subscribe, you know, like the video, all that YouTube stuff. Do like the video, please. That really helps. But I can't really ask you to subscribe to my channel. Making videos like this is just a hobby for me. Action figures is just a hobby for me, and a hobby that's getting more expensive as time goes by. That's why, you know, I have to think of this as a deluxe set for me to you know, justify getting all the accessories. So it is just a hobby for me. I do have a day job which takes up all my time. That's why I can't upload as regularly as I do. So if you're looking for regular uploads, there are lots of different figure reviewers out there who are amazing, and take a look at, you know, all these DC Multiverse figures as well. Go subscribe to them. Give them all, you know, give them all some love. But if you do want to subscribe, even if I'm not as regular, I would appreciate it. The subscribe button is right there. Hit that like button as well. Comment. I would love to read all your comments, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. But this has been Gelmig. I give both of these Blue Beetles a thumbs up. Both amazing figures, and I'm really having fun with it. So until the next time, I will see you guys soon.